Hello dear students, welcome to the online teaching of English class first year. I am Sabir Hussain. I am a lecturer in English in Islamia Inter College, Ottawa. Today I am going to teach you a poem, The Laburnum Top, composed by Ted Hughes. But before I start, I would like to tell you something about the poet who has composed this beautiful poem. Here it is. Edward James Hughes, Ted Hughes, was born on 17th August 1930 and died on 28 October 1998. He was an English poet, a translator, and a writer of children's books. He is ranked as one of the best poets of his generation and a great writer of the 20th century. The Times also awarded him as among the 50 greatest British writers since 1945. His wife's name was Sylvia Plath. This is all about the poet. And now, dear students, I would like to tell you the central idea of the poem so that you may understand this poem well. The poem, The Laburnum Top, is a beautiful poem in which the poet has used the laburnum tree and goldfinch as a symbol of life and its fluctuations. In this poem, the poet describes how the visit of a goldfinch changes the laburnum tree. The goldfinch transforms the tree and makes it alive as the chicks of the goldfinch start to rustle and chirp on seeing her. Once the goldfinch leaves the tree, it becomes quiet and still once again. So this is the central idea of the poem. Now let us move forward and try to understand the poem. Dear students, as you know, the title of the poem is The Laburnum Top. First of all, I would like to tell you the meaning of the word the laburnum. The laburnum. Laburnum is a tree. In Hindi, we call it a maltas tree. It's a beautiful tree covered with yellow leaves and yellow flowers, as you can watch it on your screen. What a beautiful tree it is. It is laden with yellow flowers and yellow leaves. The first stanza is here for you. The laburnum top is silent, quite still. In the afternoon, yellow September sunlight, a few leaves yellowing, all its seeds fallen. In this stanza, the poet has described the autumn season. And in this season, the laburnum top is silent, quite still. The laburnum tree is absolutely silent. It is quiet. It is not producing any noise. It is not producing any rustling noise. In the afternoon, yellow September sunlight. As you see, it is the month of September and there is bright sunshine. A few leaves yellowing. Some of the leaves of the tree have turned yellow because of the autumn season. As you see it quite clearly that the leaves of the tree are yellow in color. So some of the leaves of the tree have turned yellow because of the autumn season, and all its seeds have fallen on the ground. Okay? Now let us take a look at the difficult words used in the stanza. Laburnum top. Top part of the laburnum tree. Okay? Top part of the laburnum tree. Now let us move forward. Summary. The summary of the stanza. The poet describes a beautiful sunny autumn. The laburnum tree is silent and still, as I have already told you, it is not producing any noise. It is absolutely silent. It is laden with yellow leaves and yellow flowers. Laden with, covered with. It is covered with yellow leaves and yellow flowers in September. Its leaves have turned yellow because of the autumn season, and all its seeds have fallen down on the ground. This is the summary. Now, classwork for the students. Question number 1. What does laburnum top mean here? Once again, what does laburnum top mean here? Laburnum top means the top part of the laburnum tree. The top part of the laburnum tree. Okay? Now, the next question. Find a word from the extract which is the antonym of noisy. I think it's a very easy question for the students, and each and every student will be able to answer this question. Find a word from the extract which is the antonym of noisy. Silent is the antonym of noisy. Silent is the antonym of noisy. Very easy. Now, move forward. Stanza number 2. Till the goldfinch comes with a twitching chirrup. Now, dear students, always try to understand the meanings of the difficult words. The word twitch. Twitch. What do you mean by the word twitch? Twitch is sudden, quick movement. A sudden, quick movement. Twitch. Chirrup. Noise produced by a bird. Chirrup. Sound produced by a bird. Till the goldfinch comes. Now here we come across a word that is goldfinch. Dear students, please watch on your screen. You see a beautiful bird sitting on the branch of a tree. It's a beautiful bird and it is yellow in color. How beautiful it looks sitting on the branch of a tree. Till the goldfinch comes. Just then, a beautiful bird, goldfinch, comes and alights on the laburnum tree. Till the goldfinch comes. A bird, goldfinch, comes and alights on the tree with a twitching chirrup. It comes twisting its body. It comes with a sudden movement, a suddenness, a startlement at a branch end. Startlement. Startlement means amazement. As soon as the bird comes suddenly, the tree is amazed and surprised at its sudden arrival. At a branch end, the goldfinch comes and perches at the end of the branch. The goldfinch comes and sits at the end of a branch. Then sleek as a lizard. Sleek means smooth. Sleek means smooth. Then sleek as a lizard and alert and abrupt. Dear students, in this line, the poet has compared the movements of the bird with the movement of a lizard. Okay? The poet has compared the movements of the bird with the movements of a lizard. As you know very well that a lizard is a quick moving animal. No? Sleek as a lizard. Sleek means smooth. So the movements of the bird are as smooth and quick as those of a lizard. The lizard moves quickly and smoothly. Similarly, the bird is also moving quickly and smoothly. And alert. It is as alert and active as a lizard is. And abrupt. Abrupt means sudden. Just as a lizard moves abruptly and suddenly to any direction it likes. Similarly, the bird is also moving quite suddenly and abruptly. She enters the thickness. She enters the thickness. Thickness means thick part of the tree. The goldfinch enters the thick part of the tree, but with great care. The goldfinch enters the thick part of the tree, but with great care. One more thing I would like to tell you here in this stanza, that the goldfinch has got its young ones resting, reposing in the nest which is in the laburnum tree. So the goldfinch enters the thick part of the tree, but very carefully, so that no predators may come to know about her young ones that are resting in the nest. Okay, now let us take a look at the difficult words used in the paragraph. Goldfinch, you know, a small yellow bird, twitching, a small, often involuntary movement of the body. Chirrup, the sound made by a bird, the sound produced by a bird. Startlement, amazement. And now sleek means smooth. Now let us move forward. Summary. Take a look at the summary of the poem. Just then a goldfinch alights on the laburnum tree, making short, high-pitched sounds. The goldfinch has her nest in the tree. I have already told you that goldfinch has got her nest in the tree, and her chicks, her young ones, are left in the nest. On her mother's return, a sudden movement stirs the tree. Her little ones are excited on her arrival. As soon as the goldfinch, their mother, comes, the young ones get excited and start chirruping. They begin to chirp, they begin to make noise. You know, they are delighted. This is the summary of the stanza you have seen. Now, the classwork for the students. Question 1. What do you mean by the word abrupt? It's very easy. I told you while explaining the line. What do you mean by the word abrupt? The word abrupt means sudden, suddenly. Question number 2. Who is she in the above stanza? Where does she enter? Who is she in the above stanza? You know very well. She is the mother goldfinch. She enters the thickness of the laburnum tree. Now let us start stanza number 3. And a machine starts up of chitterings and a tremor of wings and trillings. The whole tree trembles and thrills. It is the engine of her family. Now, dear students, let me start, and I will start from this line. It is the engine of her family. The goldfinch has been regarded as the engine of her family. Just as an engine starts a machine, similarly, as soon as the goldfinch arrives, a machine starts. And I would like to tell you the word machine has been used for nest. As soon as the goldfinch comes, the young ones in the nest begin to produce a lot of noise. And this is why the poet says that a machine starts up. So as soon as the goldfinch arrives, a lot of noise is made by the young ones in the nest. Now just see, chitterings, noise produced by the young ones. Some of the young ones in the nest begin to chitter. They begin to produce noise, and a tremor of wings, a slight shaking is noticed in the wings of some of the young ones. A slight shaking is noticed in the wings of some of the young ones. And trillings. What do you mean by trill? A repeated short high sound. A repeated short high sound by a bird. Just as a fawn trilled on the desk. You know what kind of sound is made by a phone when it rings? No. So trill, a repeated short high sound made by a bird. And trillings. While some other young ones in the tree produce a short high sound repeatedly. So in this way you see that all the young ones in the nest show their happiness through their various gestures. Actually, these chitterings, tremor of wings and trillings is nothing but the expression of happiness on the part of the young ones. They show their happiness through their various gestures. Okay, the whole tree trembles and thrills. The tree also begins to shake. It begins to tremble. The tree is also thrilled, excited and delighted at the arrival of the goldfinch. So it's all about this, these 4 lines. She stokes it full. What do you mean by the word stoke? To drink or eat a lot of something so that you do not feel hungry later. This is stoke. To add fuel to a fire. You know, so she stokes it full. So she feeds her young ones fully. She feeds her young ones fully. And after feeding her young ones, she flits out to a branch end. She flies and goes to the end of a branch. Okay? Showing her barred face identity mask. Barred means covered. Try to understand. It's a beautiful line, my dear. The laburnum tree has flowers that fall like bars. When the goldfinch sits behind the flowers, the shadow of the flowers falls on her face like she is bearing she is wearing a mask which has bars. Okay, so the word bird is an adjective for flowers, but it has been transferred and applied to the goldfinch, to the bird. So this is all about this stanza. Let us take a look at the difficult words used in this stanza. Chittering, sound made by baby birds. Tremor, shaking. Trilling, to sing a series of quickly repeated high notes. Trembles and thrills, shakes violently. The engine of our family, the goldfinch. Okay, now let us move forward. Summary. The goldfinch has been called the engine of her family. Just as the engine starts up the machine, her arrival in the nest has suddenly started up the silent machine. Machine means nest. That is, the young ones have started chittering and making noise. By feeding her young ones, she has added fuel to the machine. And as a result, the chicks now have the energy to be active and make noise. Now, this is the summary. Now let us take a look at the classwork for the students. Okay? Question number 1. What is the engine of the machine? What is its fuel? The goldfinch has been called the engine of our family. Okay? Just as the engine starts up the machine, the goldfinch's arrival in the nest has suddenly started up the machine. The fuel of the engine is the food that the goldfinch brings for her young ones. Okay, now let us move forward to the next stanza. Then with eerie, delicate whistle chirp, whisperings, she launches away towards the infinite, and the laburnum subsides to empty. Okay? Then with eerie, what do you mean by eerie? Eerie means strange, peculiar, and sometimes it frightening also, frightening. Then with eerie, delicate whistle, chirrup, whisperings, she launches away. Launches away, flies away. After some time, the goldfinch produces short, high-pitched sounds. After some time, the goldfinch produces short, high-pitched sounds. And then she flies away. She launches away. She flies away towards the infinite. Infinite? What is infinite? The sky. The sky is limitless. It is infinite. So she flies away towards the sky. And the laburnum subsides to empty. And the laburnum tree once again becomes silent and still. After the fright of the goldfinch, the laburnum tree loses all its activity, its liveliness. It becomes silent, dull, and inactive. It becomes sad, dejected, and disappointed. This is. Now let us take a look at the difficult words. Eerie is strange in a frightening way. Launches, flies. Infinite, the sky. Subsides to empty, becomes silent. Now, let us take a look at the summary of the stanza. After some times, the goldfinch makes a strange, short, high-pitched sound. Then she flies away towards the infinite sky. The laburnum tree becomes silent once again after the departure of the goldfinch. Now, classwork for the students. What does launches mean in the extract? I have told you while explaining the poem to you, it means flying in the extract. Here the goldfinch flies off after feeding her young ones. Okay? Now, what effect does the last line create? The last line creates the contrast between the liveliness of the tree when the goldfinch is there and its silence when the goldfinch has left. Okay, now the poetic devices used in the stanza till the goldfinch comes with a twitching chirrup. You see, twitching chirrup. Here, the poet has used onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia is a figure of speech in which sound suggests the meaning. So here, it is the example of onomatopoeia. Then sleek as a lizard. It is an example of a simile. Simile is that figure of speech in which a comparison is made between two things of different kinds. And the words of comparison, so, as, like is used. So as is here, it means it is an example of simile. Now let us move forward. Stanza number 3. Chitterings, tremor of wings and trillings. It is also an example of onomatopoeia because here we come across sounds produced by the young ones. The whole tree trembles. It is the engine of her family showing her barred face identity mask. It is an example of transferred epithet. The poet has used transferred epithet in this stanza. Okay, so these are the poetic devices which have been used by the poet. This is all about this poem. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.